Max looked up from playing his one note and he said, "They're looking for the place. I found it."
I'm kind of scared about the future, to be honest. Like, we're recording now, right? We're recording now.
You want to just start? Hold on.
Let's
hey, everybody.
start.
Welcome to the new show. I'm Lil Ray. This is Ted, the Heisman. Okay, Ted, you're a little scared?
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Goal. Yeah, I'm scared too, bro. I'm a little scared too.
I am scared about the future. This is what I'm scared about, okay? Even if it wasn't a lab leak, there is the ability for a hostile forces to manufacture a deadly virus and release it into the world, you know? Like biowarfare, right? I mean, you know?
You're saying COVID just kind of opened up your eyes to what biowarfare really could do?
Yeah. Even if it's an accident, somebody could do it on purpose, you know? Like, why wouldn't they? What if they were like a country like, you know, like like us? Like, what if...
Yes.
What if we
country, yeah.
You know? Some evil country
with lots
like
of
the
money
US.
and reasons to release a deadly pandemic on the world. Yeah.
And then there's drone warfare, which is getting more sophisticated.
That shit's scary, right?
You know? Yeah. Because, like, wasn't there, like, a drone that executed a guy and they didn't even ask it to?
Whoa, hold on. Let's look it up.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. Drones tracked down somebody and killed them, and wasn't even asked to.
The U.S. used a drone to kill an Iranian general. Dallas police used a robot to kill a gunman. Whoa, that was in 2016.
Wow.
Nah, I'm not seeing anything.
I'll find it. We'll put it in the show notes because apparently there's a drone. I think it was in what's that country that they're obliterating? Like Saudi Arabia is Yemen, I think. I think it was in like Yemen. And the drone just tracked this guy down and killed him. They didn't even ask it to.
Whoa, was that this year?
Yeah. Because it wasn't like directly done by the US, but it was like US technology that was sold to like some kind of thuggish country that we support. I'm pretty sure it was Saudi Arabia.
I don't know, but now I'm seeing a lot of stories about feds charge a Hollywood man after drone strikes LAPD.
Oh, shit. That's
Hollywood
the thing.
man arrested by the FBI after a drone crashed into an LAPD something. Oh, helicopter. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fun. Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not finding it, but
I'll look for it. Should I look for it right now? Should I look for it?
See, the thing is that's what always kills me about this stuff. Even like self-driving cars. I mean, I'm all down with self-driving cars and shit, but
yeah.
But nothing ever. Man-made code always has bugs. Almost always.
Yeah, and then the bug becomes a feature, right? Is that what happens?
It can, hopefully.
Let me look up.
That's the bright side. The good thing that happens sometimes is that a bug becomes a feature. Usually, a bug just sucks and crashes everything and interrupts the whole program. So
okay, let me look at it. I bet you it's on Twitter. Drone.
But yeah, I think I don't know. That's what freaks me out about it, because we're talking about the higher the complexity of the code, the more likelihood it is to have bugs. And you're talking about incredible complexity, you know, when you're hunting down men with drones. Hold on, I was going to try to make a quick cricket sound. I was going to try to make a cricket sound, but I'm too dry. It's too hot here, Teddy.
Wait a minute.
It's way too fucking hot here. There it is. Did you hear it?
What was that? What was that?
The crickets. That's the crickets while you're...
That's you.
That's why you're searching for drones.
I know. It's kind of boring to search for shit while we're on the live podcast.
Yeah, just look for it later. I believe you, bro. I believe you.
Here we go. Oh wait, they have. I'm coming up with stuff about Gaza. Oh, I've been following the Gaza thing, and I want to say something about that.
Uh-oh.
Like a lot of people.
Lay it on me, Bubba.
What?
I said, lay it on me, Bubba.
A lot of people have misconceptions about.
I don't have any conception. What's going on in Gaza? Explain it from the bottom to the top.
Well, because I was listening to Bill Maher.
Uh-huh.
And he had this.
Now you're away from the mic.
He had this guy on. What's that? What am I away from?
So you're away from the mic. It got all quiet. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I was listening to Bill Maher, and like people don't really understand. Like they're saying, because he had this guest on. I think he like was an Israeli politician or something like that, and he was saying that people don't realize that the Arabs that live in Israel have it better than Arabs in any other country. They have more rights and all this kind of stuff, you know. But they're conflating, like, because there's 3 different groups of Arabs in Israel.
Mm.
Like there's the Arab Israelis that just live in Israel, and they're like normal citizens, and they almost have as much rights as the Jewish Israelis, but not quite. Because they wrote in their constitution that only Jews have the right to self-determination in Israel.
Wow.
They just put that in recently. And also they can't like join the military. There's like different things they can't do. Like they don't really have full rights, but there are normal citizens with most of the normal rights that comes with being an Israeli citizen. But then the Palestinians that live on the West Bank, they're like refugees there. And they live in occupied territory. Like it's not considered part of Israel where they live, but they're like in an open air prison. Like they have big walls surrounding them and stuff. And they have checkpoints like all through the West Bank where if they want they can't freely move from place to place. And then they have settlers coming in and then like taking over their land and stuff. It's like ongoing, you know, this occupation. And then the Gaza Strip is like totally like a prison. It's this little tiny. It's like this giant refugee camp, basically. They can't go anywhere. They can't go to the beach. They can't leave. Like they have all these checkpoints, and it's like one of the most densely populated places on Earth. I think there's like 3 million people living in like a little tiny section, you know. So like those are like 3 different groups, you know. So you can't like people are like conflating them together.
So back to what were you saying about Bill Maher? Bill Maher,
he's just a
basically dude. Blowing it off and being like, "Who cares? They got running water or something."
Yeah, he's like
they could eat McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah, because he's talking about like the citizens that live in Israel, you know, that like drive camels.
Okay,
like that,
gotcha,
you know?
Gotcha.
Because they want it to be an ethno state, but they do have some Arabs that live there and are citizens.
Okay. Oh man, that's
anyway. I couldn't find that
shit right now, right? You can't talk
hard to
about
think.
It.
Oh, you can't? I don't know. I've been talking about it. I don't care that much.
Yeah, anything that I've come across, I've talked about it too.
Anybody that's cool would let you talk about it and not try to give you a hard time.
Why are people giving other people hard times over that shit? Like I made that joke at you and what's his face for talking about it and called you
anti-Semites.
I called you anti-Semites because you dared to say anything against the Jewish state.
Yeah, well, there's like Eve Bartlow. Have you heard of her? That everybody's calling her Eve Fartlow. That was like trending.
Who's that?
Eve Bartlow. She's like this super rabid, like pro-Israel journalist that lives in Scotland. Okay. And she just goes around Twitter hunting people down that are criticizing Israel and accuses them of anti-Semitism. So
wow, what I was doing, but for real.
Yeah, but then she used to be like a Access Hollywood type journalist, but everybody's like sick of her constantly talking about Israel, so she's like losing like her connections with different celebrities. So then if they fire her or something, like she'll accuse them of anti-Semitism.
Smart.
And so she's like super crazy. And so then everybody started calling her, your name's Eve Fartlow. So they call her Eve Fartlow. And then it was like And then it was trending on Twitter, Eve Fartlow, hashtag Eve Fartlow. And but then she wrote another article that's like a pogrom against the Jews, calling her.
I was just about to say that's because that Fartlow is anti-Semitic.
Yeah, calling her Eve Fartlow. So then she went into she wrote this big article about it and stuff. And then she has her Twitter set up where you can't comment on anything she tweets unless she says you can.
I mean, that's the way to do it. That's honestly how I should set up my Twitter too. I'm kind of getting sick of seeing other people's worldviews.
Really?
Yeah.
I was like, what do you have, like 4 followers? Like, you're sick of your 4 followers commenting on your tweets? Like every 10
bullshit. Tweet? I'm sick of it. Dude, yeah, it is fucking hot. Have we even mentioned that yet, everybody? We don't have ACs here because in Colorado they don't believe in air conditioning.
Well, they believe in you buying it yourself.
I think it's just that you need air conditioner for 3 months, 2.5 months, and that's it.
Oh, you know what I think it is? I think in Arizona they have like laws that like landlords have to provide air conditioning because if the temperature gets above certain thing, it's like considered inhumane.
Right. Texas has that too.
Yeah.
I never lived in a place that didn't have air conditioning before I lived here.
That's weird.
It's totally a trip. I was like, and asking around, I'm finding out, no one has air conditioning here. That's just normal. These fucking freaks, man. These fucking freaks. I'm hot. I don't know about you.
I'm super hot.
I think I just hit you are, baby. I just hit 87 degrees in our living room.
Whoa.
7 degrees in my living room, Ted. This is 2021. Jesus Christ. Where's Eve Fartlow when you need her? I don't understand though. Why people get real butt buddies with Israel. Like, what's that about? Like, I mean, people on the ground, and I don't mean politicians, because I'm sure there's lots of reasons why politicians would do it, but
yeah.
Why does Eve Fartlow? Why is she super pro-Israel?
Well, she's Jewish, but not all Jews are super pro-Israel, but some of them are. Some of them are. And
for sure, yeah, I mean, that's for sure a thing.
But I think some of them are, and
Jewish,
it's like their identity.
You're getting pushed more toward pro-Israel, right? But yeah, I've met a lot of people that are not.
Because I bet back in the day, like, people thought it was super cool because, like, all the hippies would go down there and they would, like Jewish hippies, and they'd live in a kibbutz, like, you know what that is? It's like
yeah, I've heard about that. That's like
it's
a commune, like a
communal,
right?
Yeah, it's like a commune, and they like grow bananas and whatever, and they just have like a little village, and they have like fucking like guns and shit, but it's like all communal, all working together. It's like all kumbaya. Like there was a lot of talk like that. I remember in the 80s, like people talking about kibbutzes and stuff. And I think it was just like a cool vision. Like, we're going to have this cool country. It's going to be so awesome. And we're going to do this. And like, I think so a lot of people are attached to that. Cause I was listening to the Gray Zone, those guys like Aaron Mattei and Max Blumenthal.
Yeah, I like those guys.
Or I think they were on Jimmy Dore. Actually, I hardly ever listen to Gray Zone. I only like it when they talk to Jimmy. But but he was saying, like, there's lots of propaganda for like little Israeli kids, and like by extension, like some kids in the U.S.
Yeah, that's what.
And they show like this great vision, and they really like play it up, and then they say, I guess like before, he was saying like before, like young adults go in the army in Israel, like it's mandatory, I think.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of them are like, I don't want to fucking shoot Palestinians, And they're like, So they take them on like a field trip or something like that, and they go to like a gas oven, and they say like all the Muslims want to put you guys in the gas oven, so that's why you got to like be in the army. Or I don't know. They have like super like intense like brainwashing. That's what Max Blumenthal was saying.
Interesting. And it's not like there's a lot of love lost with Muslims in the world either,
Yeah, that's true.
I get it. honestly, I don't really know enough about any of this. I just know.
I kind of know because I used to be super evangelical, and they're all into it.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? That's like a big deal. They super support Israel, right?
They super support Israel, but they think they're all going to hell, though. But they support.
But it's part. But they support it. That's a little more complex, right? That's not politics. That's like religion. They want they think the end of the world will come if they support Israel being
right.
They want the Jewish state to build the temple, right? So Revelations will be true. Am I right?
Yeah. Like Jesus is one. They think Jesus, like when he comes before Jesus comes back, like Israel has to be all set up again or something.
Mm-hmm. That's even weirder. That's even weirder.
It is weirder because I think if it wasn't for biblical, like Christians that believe in biblical prophecy, they probably wouldn't even be in Israel. You know.
That's what I've wondered, and I've said that before. I've asked this to people who know more about it than I do, and I've heard that more often than not. Like, because my big question is, so what does the Jewish state have? Like, how do they have claim to Israel in any like historical way? You know what I mean?
Well, I guess they have. They go. A lot of them have documents from the Ottoman Empire.
Okay. Sorry.
They have a right to like
time ago, homies.
Yeah, I know. they do that. I think it's in the West Bank. They do that. Like they carry these documents around and they say this gives me the right to like live here. So fuck off.
Fucking ridiculous, man. That's fucking ridiculous. So that doesn't make sense. But I've multiple times I've been like, well, is this like a religious thing? You know, like is this like they think it's their religious right? And almost all the time, people who know more than me say like, "Oh no, that rarely comes up." So I'm like, I don't understand what claim they have.
Well, no, I guess the super hardcore settlers, most of them are Orthodox.
Okay,
because they're the ones that are willing to do shit like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like go in there and take somebody's house and tell them, "Fuck you, this is our house now," you know. Like normal people, you know, it's kind of hard for a normal person to do that to somebody else, you know.
For sure, yeah.
But if you're all, because that's the way, like, I think, who was the philosopher? I forgot what philosopher it was, but he was explaining why religion's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Because like religion enables like good people to do like horrible atrocities, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, because if you're like a psychopath, you'll rob somebody and kill them and take all their money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not a psychopath, you need some like religious reason to do it, you know? You know?
Yeah, maybe. That's
or like poetry or something. I think they were saying poetry was evil. I don't know. I can't remember.
I was just having this kind of argument the other day about this. Somebody was talking about how there's no atheism, how atheists have never killed a bunch of people over ideals or something. I was like, hold up. What about Mao Zedong and fucking
emphasis
Stalin
on the dong
and and Mussolini? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Those were atheist movements.
No, not Mussolini.
Way fucking more people than
no, not Mussolini.
Christian.
Stalin, Joseph Stalin.
Yeah, Stalin.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. I think there's an argument to be had, but I also think that religious thinking is more than maybe it's not religion. It's like that weird like lack of critical thought and like cult thinking. It doesn't even have to be attached to a religion. You know?
Ideology.
Yeah, ideological. Thank you. There's a much more succinct way of saying it. I think my brain's boiling. Let's look. Okay, so I looked up Fauci's emails.
Okay.
I know a pinch. I know that he got an email last year, very early March, I believe, where a doctor was explaining to him that there's a likelihood that it came from a lab, and he just kind of forwards it to some flunky of his and is like, take care of this. It just like blows it off. But I'm seeing here, I mean, this is, where'd it go? Here's USA Today. Fact check. Fauci's emails don't show that he lied about hydroxychloroquine. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
That rolled right off my tongue.
That's the one where the doctor, I think Joe Rogan was talking about it, like a doctor asked him, like, what's your political beliefs? Or a doctor asked somebody, what's your political beliefs? And he's like, I don't know why. And they're like, well, because I think this hydroxychloroquine can help you, but a lot of liberals don't like it. Because that was the thing that Trump was promoting. Everybody's like, oh, that must be all bullshit, that. I'm not going to take that.
I remember at the time, like, a lot of doctors tweeting out that they were using it and that it was working, and why wouldn't people try it out? But then it kind of fizzled, and I sort of forgot about it.
And then you tweeted about people. Everybody forgot that Trump was pushing to roll out all the vaccines get everybody vaccinated by 2021.
He's the whole reason that happened.
They're all like bullshit.
Ordered the FDA to fucking speed it up.
Yeah, everybody's like bullshit. We need until 2025. Like they were saying all that stuff.
Which I agreed with them.
You agreed with that, really?
That's what I think is hilarious, is to see the complete. Well, you saw it live right there. There's a person tweeting that, thank you, fucking Biden, for rolling out the vaccine when Trump never could. It's like, you dumbass, Trump did that. Biden just showed up at the right time when it was coming out.
Take credit.
Fucking stupid. Like, I don't understand how.
They always do that, though. They always take credit for the last administration. If anything they did right,
yeah, for sure.
There's like a lasting effect. They take credit for it.
Absolutely, yeah. Trump did it too, right?
Yeah.
He did it a few times with some Obama policies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The thing, I don't even know. I've lost my.
Well, speaking of COVID, I got my second shot.
Oh yeah, how'd it go? Because that's the one that makes people sick, right?
Well, I didn't feel sick at all. Like the first day, like the day I took it. Yeah. I didn't feel anything. The next day, I woke up with like a headache. So then I just took some ibuprofen, and then I felt okay. I felt maybe a little more tired than normal. And then the next day after that, I sort of felt tired, sort of had a headache. And then today, I didn't really feel anything, so I feel normal.
But you did call into work, right?
Yeah, I called into work because everybody else calls in. So it's like a free day off, nobody argues.
No, that's what I was, You still call in and you're like, oh, I'm real fucking sick. This shot's got me under the weather.
Yeah. I think probably like maybe half the people are bullshitting and the other half are sick.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because
why?
Because Narshi's parents are retired and her dad got like super sick from the second shot, and he had no reason to like act sick. He's just fucking retired.
Yeah. I don't think people are faking it.
No, I think like half of them are faking it because everybody at work that's ahead of them.
Oh, the people. Okay,
they got
that's
the fucking
true.
day off, and they're like, oh yeah.
People in general, I don't think are faking it, but yes, people at work are absolutely. I'd say more than half. Ted, you're being really like kind,
being really generous.
Yeah,
I bet kind of naive.
I bet half of them didn't get a vaccine.
I know. Like just like at my job. At my job, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm getting the vaccine. But then I noticed like people I know didn't get it because they're like, I don't believe in it. I'm against it, And they're not wearing a mask. They're just fucking cheating.
Shit, I'm cheating like a motherfucker, man. I'm walking around with it. Well, I mean, I was already walking around without a mask, but I'm sure people. I don't know. Actually, I was about to say I'm sure people look at me and think he must be vaccinated, but I bet they don't. I think now it's like they look at you and think he must be a Republican, right?
No, I think if you look like a redneck, they assume you're lying.
I guess. Okay, that's not true either. I was at the grocery store yesterday, and I'd say most people weren't wearing a mask.
Like, a lot of them are probably vaccinated. Like, go to Whole Foods, and then people aren't wearing a mask there. They're vaccinated.
How many? Right. How many people are vaccinated now? Do you know?
More than anywhere else in the world. Did you know that?
No.
The U.S., we have the highest vaccination rate in the world.
Last I remember, it was like half of us, right?
Could be, but whoever...
Dude, 52%.
I know one thing. That's more than anybody else.
That's hilarious. So, okay, if 52% have at least one dose and only 42% are fully vaccinated, I just Googled this and this is what popped up. Let's see. It's from Our World in Data. I have no idea what that is, so that may not be accurate.
Our World.
But if that's what I'd heard before too. This is what I was telling people when they were freaking out about the vaccine passports. I was like, dog, if half of the people haven't done it, you're not gonna cut off half your revenue stream. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
that's crazy talk. No one's gonna do that. And sure enough, nobody's done it, man. I haven't seen a goddamn one. Have you? I've seen like stuff on Twitter and stuff of like individuals, like this restaurant here put up a sign, that said
they're probably like elite restaurants for like rich liberals,
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that airlines are doing it, though. I think airlines are doing it. So I saved my card in case I want to fly somewhere.
I saw one. There's a restaurant in California that was doing the reverse, and they were giving you a $5 like fee if you wore a mask.
Oh, really?
Yes. Which I think is douchey. It's funny, but that's douchey too, man. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That's pretty funny.
It was like the sign said that you had a $5 fee for wearing a mask, and then in small print under it said you get another $5 fee if you boast about getting a vaccine. But and I was reading this other article about that place, and they were talking about how months ago they had put up a sign basically offering to give you a free fake card.
Oh, really?
Counterfeiting cards?
That's funny. Did you hear about the guy that got beat up for telling somebody to wear a mask? It was in like Brooklyn.
No.
Like I guess it was a tweet that it was like a screenshot I saw of like somebody posted they got attacked for COVID or something. So some guy was in a grocery store in Brooklyn. And he tells this guy to put on a mask. And then the guy walks up to him and starts choking him.
Jesus.
And then I guess he wrestles free or something. And he says, if you come near me again, I'm going to call 911. Then the guy like knocked him over and knocked his grocery cart over. So then he called 911 and the cops came. And the cops told him that the CDC says you don't have to wear a mask.
Whoa. Is this was this on a bus?
It was in a grocery store.
I'm looking at another one. New York City bus driver assaulted for telling teen to wear a mask.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, people are fucking sick of this shit.
I just stopped wearing the mask in stores. It feels good.
I stopped wearing it like months ago, bro. It was awesome.
Before I got my second shot, though, I started not wearing them in stores.
Yeah.
But then I had to wear it at work. But now I don't have to wear it at work. So I saw one girl. There's like one employee that one coworker that's better looking without a mask on. There's like one, and then the one that looks better without a mask on, she's kind of bitchy. And then I'm like, oh, I know why she's a bitch, because she thinks all the guys are just trying to hit on her.
Yeah. Well, so from now on, it'll be true, right?
Yeah, now it makes sense. Before I was like, why are you such a bitch? Like,
it's hilarious.
What's your deal?
I've noticed people have kind of fallen out of the habit of covering what their face says. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I can read people like a fucking book now, man. They're just
really? Like they're like
their
super
feelings.
They're like super like vulnerable expressions now. They don't even have any gated kind of mask on.
No, they've forgotten. Yeah, they got used to being able to just like relax behind that mask and not have to cover up.
Wouldn't that be funny if everybody had like a lazy tongue now and they're all like, like they're so used to having a mask on. They're like drooling and stuff. Like they're not.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, I used to breathe out of my mouth more with my mask on because I couldn't quite breathe as well.
Yeah.
Because when early on in COVID, people like to shit on anybody that said it's hard to breathe with a mask on. But
it is hard to breathe with a mask on.
Yeah, if you're just sitting at your desk, it's not that hard. But if you're like working in a warehouse and pulling fucking shit off shelves, like it's hard to breathe, So I was breathing out of my mouth, and it's not good for you to breathe out of your mouth.
You start getting real swampy in there, right? Like it's like real gross and wet.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
No, that's disgusting, dude.
Because I got laid off. Yeah, because I didn't really have to wear a mask for most of the COVID because I got laid off pretty early on, and then I got unemployment. Well, actually, I got fired, but then they let me draw unemployment. You know how your boss can they could contest it, so you have to have an appeal. They didn't do that because I think they kind of knew that they just fired me because I was right.
I think generally in those cases you get the unemployment. It has to be like completely egregious, like you had to
put your
dick out or something crazy, or some sexual harassment kind of shit.
So they're not really admitting I'm right?
Not necessarily. They might be.
Oh, okay.
It's very rare, I would say, for a place to contest it if you didn't do something illegal.
Oh, okay.
Because they pay insurance for that stuff.
Yeah.
They're not paying it out of pocket. So let's see. What USA Today?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the claim. Emails show Dr. Anthony Fauci lied about the effectiveness of hydrochloroquine in treating COVID.
Oh.
The release of hundreds of Dr. Anthony Fauci's emails from the early days of the coronavirus pandemic has become fodder for online misinformation. I bet it hasn't. USA Today. Let's see what it is.
Look, if it's an email, it's an email. What's the misinformation?
Dude, that's what we're about to find out. The
who are you going to believe?
Real quick is that this was not a leak. This was somebody did FOIA. I think it was actually a BuzzFeed. A couple of BuzzFeeders did a FOIA request. Okay, let's see. What are you doing over there?
You want to look up something?
It sounded like you're you're wiping it or something.
What did I do? I was wiping the screen?
I don't know. I can hear a beautiful wiping sound. Social media users have claimed Fauci's emails contain the origins of the coronavirus. False. It puts in parentheses. I think that probably is false, though. That would have been a smoking gun, and everybody would have been talking about that one. And show that he knew face masks were ineffective at preventing the virus's spread. Missing context. I need to click out these links, too. Others have falsely claimed the emails, which the Washington Post and BuzzFeed News obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request. Okay. That they were leaked. Well, yeah, like I just said, they were not leaked. Now, which is... Come on, man. Okay, whatever, USA Today. Now, the Gateway Pundit, a conservative website that has repeatedly published false claims about COVID, says that emails show Fauci lied about a coronavirus treatment that could have saved hundreds of thousands of lives. Fauci was informed of hydrochloroquine's success in early 2020, but lied to the public instead, despite the science, reads the headline of a June 3rd article. Similar claims have circulated widely among pro-Donald Trump and alternative health pages and groups on Facebook. According to CrowdTangle, a social media insights tool, posts mentioning Fauci and hydrochloroquine. Am I saying that right still?
Yeah, hydroxychloroquine.
Hydroxychloroquine. God, that's too many syllables, homie. That's why we should, not use it. Shorten it or send it back. Hydroxychloroquine have racked up tens of thousands of interactions. And posts mentioning Fauci and hydroxychloroquine have racked up tens of thousands of interactions in the days after the emails were made public. Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and President Joe Biden's chief medical advisor, did send and receive emails about hydroxychloroquine in spring 2020, but he didn't lie about its effectiveness in treating COVID-19. They put lie in quotes. What does that mean?
I think that's a smoke screen. Can I just
read the email? Where's the email?
I think that's a smoke screen because I think there's other shit in the email that's more damaging. So they're saying, oh, this part they said was a lie. It's not. They're trying to draw your attention away from it.
Yeah, is there a searchable? I bet there isn't. Do you remember when who was it? Was it Anonymous put out that?
I'm kind of too lazy to look it up.
There's like an indexable like that. Oh shit, man. Anyway, whatever. It's too hot, Teddy.
It's too hot. Our brains are like half capacity.
Just end the show right now. I was just gonna sleep instead.
You really want to
sleep? We could. Okay, we'll keep the show running, but I need to take a nap. So let's just put it down here. We're gonna get a.
Have we been talking for an hour at least?
Get some nap music. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Not at all. Maybe a half hour.
My brain is kind of like half shot too. You want to end it, or do you feel bad?
No, I was just kidding around. I'm sorry.
You don't want to end it?
No, I'm just kidding. Let's keep going. But
everybody's gonna like stop listening right now. All our listeners.
What? Who would want to listen to this shit? Who would want to listen to it?
The heat is getting to you, man.
You can hear my brain boiling. There's a reason I left Texas. I will never go back. Speaking of which, I'm going back to Texas in like a month.
Oh, you are?
In like the deepest.
What part are you going to?
Back to Houston. The worst part. I'm gonna go.
I was telling Narcy all your Kingston or all your Houston adventures.
Yeah, you don't even know half of them, buddy.
Like going to Pride and all this kind of shit.
You don't even know half of them, buddy.
Running around the woods naked, doing pagan rituals.
That was in a lot of New Mexico too.
Figures.
Yeah, a lot more space to do that in.
You ever run into Walter White?
No.
Her Tuco Salamanca burying a body.
When we moved there, it was in the middle. We moved to Albuquerque in the middle of Breaking Bad fever.
Oh yeah.
And the place, like everywhere you looked, was people were just cashing in on it with like tours, like go on the Breaking Bad tour, and like check out this candy lady who sells blue rock candy.
Oh, I heard about the people that lived in that house. That's actually the real house they filmed. Like they kept getting a pizza thrown on their roof.
Yeah.
Like every couple days, like somebody throw a pizza on the roof.
Yep. Miserable. Sounds like awful. I forgot what the hell were we talking about? Oh, Fauci and the hydroxychloroquine. I guarantee there's something weird and like hotter in there. I think the thing about him being notified in March that it could have come from a lab is pretty hot stuff. But at the same time, it's not, because it's, come out over the last month that he was behind funding the Wuhan lab. The specific Wuhan lab that it may have leaked from. So,
well, one of the emails is to Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, what is he saying that?
He's asking for advice. Like, what should I do, Zuck? Like, well, how should we run this COVID thing? What's your advice? Yeah, it was kind of like that kind of email.
Let's find out. Fauci, Zuckerberg. How do you spell Zuckerberg? I think I got it right. Oh, close. How close was I?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. I put U instead of E for the Berg.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Reuters fact check. Mark Zuckerberg email to Fauci mentioned pandemic response, not elections or ballots. Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is like you go dig up the craziest tweet or Facebook post, and then you just write like a really long thing about how that thing's not true.
Yeah.
And then that's all you need to do, right? Like you just don't even talk about other stuff.
I guess I'm like so sure that we're fucked in the future that it's like I'm not as curious about the details, Like I'm like, wow, if somebody doesn't do something about this, things are going to get out of hand. So I better track down the details. But it's like I already know nobody's going to do nothing about it.
Yeah, and then nervously chew my fingernails and
like what am I gonna do? I like checked out of like a lot of stuff because I have like no control over any of it, So I might as well just kind of passively kind of watch it as like science fiction going on around me,
I feel like I've been doing that for years, man.
There's not shit I can do about it. Well, speaking of news, have you checked out Crystal and Sager's new
I have not. Is it good?
I'm like worried.
They did not email me, by the way. I signed up for their email and I did not get one.
I joined. Oh yeah, they had email problems because they got banned for being like porn. They thought it was like an OnlyFans.
What? Weird.
Yeah, like
I know. Yeah, I saw yesterday. I saw a video on YouTube in my suggested, and I go, "You sons of bitches! You didn't tell me you were on."
I became a supporter.
Good for
But
you, man.
I'm worried they're gonna go off the rails, kind of. Like I felt like they're kind of like, well, we don't want like the man to hold us down and tell us what we can't say, what we can say. We're gonna go independent, you know. Like they have this kind of attitude, and I feel like they had really good stories, but I feel like maybe some pressure to keep it like professional and not too goofy, weird with the conspiracy theories. Like I think that might have actually made it better. Because you know how you have like,
I see what you're saying. So you're saying you kind of preferred it when there was like a corporate hand involved to kind of keep them.
I think it keeps them sharp because they have to come up with creative ways to like put the word out that they're trying to say without making it sound too ridiculous, you know?
It also weirdly like made it more legit to people, didn't it? Like it legitimized.
Yeah. And they were saying, "Oh, we're gonna make our set look super legit, like a real news channel," and it doesn't. It looks more like a podcast.
Let me take a look.
Like
because that's a big part of it. I remember sharing it with people and it being like, "Oh, this is good because it looks like a news show. Like this is something I can hand to someone," and they're like, "This is a news show, right?" Like,
yeah,
they're okay. What are they called?
Breaking Points.
Breaking Points.
Which is kind of also, it's already sounds like a crankish kind of, right? Doesn't it?
Why do you say that?
Breaking Points? Like it used to be The Hill, Rising, you know? Like Rising.
I felt Rising seemed a little crankish to me.
Really?
Yeah, I would be like, oh, The Rising.
Well, I thought it was like, no, because they had like a sun. It was like Sunday morning news thing or something. I don't know.
Oh, I never even that didn't even like, you know, it's too much Batman. Maybe.
But the Breaking Points logo is like a flame. It's like a flame.
Exactly, burning. I see what I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, this does not look very pro. Or it looks pro, but it's like in someone's basement.
Well, it looks like a high-end podcast, maybe, but I don't know. It just looks like, I don't like the brick.
Jesus Christ, though, Sager is like grinning so hard at the very beginning of this.
Super grinning.
Oh, he is so happy. I've never seen him that happy.
Yeah.
Do you like him? I like him a lot. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I've come to like him way more than Crystal, actually.
Well, Crystal already, like Crystal, she never really evolves, I don't think. But Sager's like kind of evolved. Like once you figure out what she's gonna say, you can always predict what she's gonna say. You know, Sager like will kind of surprise you because he's kind of right wing, but he's also kind of populist. Like you don't really know where he's gonna come down on any given issue.
No, and he's. I've noticed like I used to like her more because she generally, I think I side with her.
She's hotter.
Yeah, she's way hotter than him for sure. Yeah. I generally side with her, like in principle, but like there's a lot of things where she'll just say stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, you didn't look that up. You're just saying something and you're spouting it off on this really popular show as fact.
Oh yeah,
it's not. Like I got really mad about her saying that there was zero evidence of election tampering. I was like, that's not fucking true, man. I don't know if there was a lot, but there wasn't zero. I can send you the videos that look like election tampering, you know? I just don't think it was just weird that she was taking that stance. Like, and I was like, you must not have like spent 5 minutes on Google looking this up, or else you would know that there's at least one or two examples of possible election tampering. So to just mouth off like that was like, I was like, how many times are you mouthing off like that? And I'm just over here like, yeah. And it's probably not true, you know? That really bothered me. And Sager has been the opposite. He'll say stuff and I'm like, bullshit. And I'll go look it up. I'm like, oh, not bullshit. Okay.
He's a super nerd, and I think he's extremely careful looking up stuff. Because like his opinion on his opinion on the recall or whatever, like the stop the steal.
Mm-hmm.
Like he poured over like tons of documents to arrive at that conclusion, and he was basing on like the lawsuits, like all the lawsuits are being like rejected, and
yeah, he was totally following actual stuff instead of just like I don't know, he did
just
he
like on a
mouthing
whim
off. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I was so I don't know, man. But I still do like her. She's cool, you know. I do think she's a cool chick. It's just I don't know. I like her show with Kyle. That's a really cool show. I've seen a couple episodes of that.
I don't like Kyle.
Kyle Kalinske. Really? You're the one who made me. I don't really like him that much either, but you're the one who turned me on to him. You're the one like, I like that guy.
Well, I kind of like him on other people's shows, but then he was on Rogan and he acted like a twit, and I didn't really like him.
He's real. He's another one of those people who's real like, I know everything, and you're not changing my mind on stuff, and it's
you can tell. Yeah, like Joe was like, dude, quit being a dick, and like maybe shut the fuck up and let the comedian talk more. Like I feel like he was going to say that in a second.
Was that during the election?
Yeah, it was the election. It was with what's that fat gay comedian guy? What's his name?
Tim Dillon, yeah.
Tim Dillon. It was with Tim Dillon. Yeah, and Kyle just like talked over everybody the whole time. Like he was the most important person on the whole podcast. And there was like Joe Rogan and Tom Dillon there too, you know?
And then Tim Dillon was like making fun of him, and it was like he couldn't recognize. Like
he went over his head.
And so he would answer things like honestly, like at face value, and like that was clearly just like a rhetorical joke. You know?
Yeah. And then Kyle was like, clearly
and Rogan and Dylan are just looking at each other like, what do we do? He seems kind of amped up though too. Like I was wondering if he was on something or even, you know, caffeine or something. He just seemed like real like ready to jump. It was election night and he was all psyched up, you know. I don't know. But yeah, that was one of my first experiences with him, and I was like, I don't like this guy.
No, I like seeing him on other stuff, and I was like, oh, this guy makes some good points, you know.
I've bumped into him here and there. I saw him arguing with that Vaush guy, Vosh.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Oh fuck, he's the worst, dude. He's a monster.
Yeah,
I don't like that guy. He's just this really loud mouth. I think he says he's like a libertarian, like a left libertarian or something.
I heard on Twitter, like anybody that follows him, they're like blocking people. Like that's a common thing.
Probably. But he does this thing. You should go watch some videos of his because it's obnoxious, man. I can't even tell if I agree with him because everything he says is so jargony. And then when I really pay attention to what he's saying, it's like he just he's one of those people that like is just arguing to argue, and like he'll constantly look for the best method to argue whatever is in front of him right then, instead of being like, oh, hold up, am I right or not?
I think he's like a troll.
That's what it feels like. Like I was watching something, like I was watching some like that thing that I'm talking about with him, and it was Kyle Kalinske and Crystal Ball show. What's that show called? Do you know?
Wait, what is it?
Crystal and Kyle show or something, isn't it? It's just something like that.
It's I don't know. I didn't even once listen to it.
But they had Vosh on and they were talking to him, and he was just like, I don't know. He just multiple times he would say one thing and then completely say the opposite thing 10 minutes later, and it just depended on who he was shit talking about. And he hates Jimmy Dore, which makes me get all irritated.
Kyle does?
No, this is this kid, Vosh.
Oh, Vosh.
No, yeah.
I don't want to listen to Vosh. I just heard too many bad things.
You should totally, dude. He's pretty cringy. And he's just real neckbeardy. And he's like...
Gross.
He's that guy. He's just that dude, man. You'll know. You'll love it when you start hearing him, because he's that guy. He's super smart dude who's way smarter than you.
Remember Bitcoin was real neckbeardy at first?
Yeah.
And I used to make fun of people. Like if they seemed neckbeardy, I'd be like, oh, my Bitcoins.
Holy shit. Did you see Tim Dillon on the Bitcoin?
No.
At the Bitcoin convention?
Oh, I keep seeing the link, but I never listened to it.
Oh my God.
What was he saying?
Dude, I don't even want to spoil. I don't know if... I'll pick out a clip and I'll cut it in right here.
What about you guys? Is there any fun coin? Do you have any fun with the coins? You're so respected and legitimate. Say something insane so that we can get views so I don't fire my fucking agent for sending me down here. I'm kidding. It's been fun. We've had a lot of fun. I like this. It feels deeply like a religion. Now, which is healthy. I think it is. I think mass psychosis is good. And other people don't. But I think there's something nice about a group of people who believe things no matter what the facts are. It's good to have a group of people completely impervious to any logic or outside information. I think it's good. Now, are there any other coins that you guys have fun with?
I mean, I tweet about Doge a lot, but I don't own any, so.
You don't own any Dogecoin?
Not yet.
What about you?
No.
What about you, Jake?
I think everyone messes around with shit coins a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was in Doge, before Elon talked about it.
Right. Shit coins are like whores, but not sex workers, which are great. Whores. Sex workers, it's a legit, we get it. But, so the shit coins are like whores, but you marry the Bitcoin. And then you also, that's what you do. You marry the Bitcoin and then you fuck Ethereum once a year and your wife doesn't mind because you have a pool. That's kind of, am I wrong about that? I think I'm kind of right about that. Well, we're going to wrap this up soon because there's an after party where Elon will show up. If Elon had balls, he would come to this convention. I believe that, right? Man, this audience has the energy of the Capitol riot. I mean, it's like, I'm so scared that there's not a fucking glass partition between these two security guys. What are they going to do? These people just storm the stage and fucking kill us all. They'll tweet about it. Like, yeah, that sucked. Anyway, Jake Paul's getting eaten alive by some fucking crypto freaks in a fucking convention center. I'm glad we can't afford a real convention center. We're here in this fucking weird art installation. Nothing makes you feel good about the future of a financial product than walking by fucking white chicks with dreadlocks on the street who are painting fucking murals on the wall. It's like the Fed versus street art. It's like, great, good. Next year we'll get the real convention center. Any parting words of wisdom? This is an army of people out there. They're maybe losing faith in Bitcoin. Maybe they've lost money. Who knows? Is there anything that you guys can say? Is just your final closing argument of like, hey, times are tough. They might get tougher. Is there anything that because you guys are relatable figures. You're billionaire, tall, athletic Olympians, just like everyone else in this country. Now, so talk to your equals out there. Your equals that are watching you on YouTube going, those guys and me, we get it. Friends of mine, unemployed Uber drivers, morbidly obese drug addicts, people that own 1/18 of a Bitcoin and look at you and go, I'm going to be them. Even your last name is kind of magical a little bit. Winklevoss. It just sounds, if I said that was my last name, somebody would go, no, it's not. They'd go, no, it's not. And I'd go, you're right. So is there any inspiring message you have for the monsters out there on the other end of their screen, looking at you going, Bitcoin's my way out? What do you say to them?
Always stack sats and remember to always hodl. And buy the dip.
And buy the dip. Okay. Jake, what words of wisdom do you have for people on TikTok right now that are going to be irrelevant in 15 minutes who want to start fighting people because it's their only hope. They go, I gotta fight people now. I mean, you and your brother are like you're the leaders of that section of the internet where it's like now everybody's fighting. TikTokers, YouTubers, and D'Amelio girls are kicking each other in the face. What do you tell people that want to have a career on the internet as you've had? What do you tell those people out there? Because you're a relatable guy. You grew up in Ohio. You were a landscaper, and now you own the island of Puerto Rico. So what do you say to those people?
I would say,
you're fucked.
I would say, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
That's what I tell them about comedy. Don't do it.
Stick to your day job.
Well, that's an inspiring message.
I think Bitcoin is kind of stupid, really. I mean, I've heard like, you know how it crashed, and I heard like all these YouTube people I follow are like, yeah, you should buy the dip. It's gonna go way back up. But like, I'm like, really? Is it really gonna go up, or did like people really realize it's overhyped? You know, like, and since then it hasn't gone back up. Like, you know, it used to kind of bounce down and bounce up, but it's been kind of steadily like the same.
We tried buying on the dip and we bought too quick, man. Like,
yeah, and it dipped more.
Yeah, and then it dipped more. We bought like $100 in it like a couple weeks ago, and like Jess was all upset. She's like, "Oh God, I keep," and I was like, I kind of wanted to see, like, I'm interested in seeing how it compares to the dollar and inflation. Like, I wasn't really buying. Like, I was more buying just to see what happened with the $100.
It's weird to compare it to the dollar because it's like $38,000 a Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, but the value, you just compare $100.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I don't even know how to practically use it. Do you? Do you know how to practically use Bitcoins?
No, and that's kind of what I was saying to her. I was like, this isn't really like an investing thing, but I did want to see, because I keep hearing inflation, the dollar's gonna, you know, it's gonna crash. And so I was like, this would be kind of a way that we could compare. We can look at this and see how the dollar compares, you know?
But I don't think
like
it works. Like, everybody says that, but it's like the weirdest thing. It's like it started out as supposed to be a currency, and they still kind of talk about how it's a currency, but everybody just trades it like a stock.
Right.
It's just like it's all based on hype. Yeah. It's like a meme. It's like a meme stock. You know, it's like there's like meme stocks that are like the company's not necessarily that good, but everybody thinks it's great. So like the sentiment makes the stock go like way up beyond its value.
Right. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah.
I think that's
there is ways to spend it though. There's lots of ways.
I guess you can. Like, you used to be able to buy a Tesla, but now you can't.
Oh yeah, that's true, huh?
You'd have to go to Coinbase or something and get like a wallet. I think you have to join Coinbase or something and get like a wallet.
Ways to spend it. How do you spend? That's a good question. Let's look it up.
Yeah. We do, I think, have to wrap up in a half hour though, because Narcy's gonna come home. We're gonna have dinner.
Cool. Where to spend Bitcoin? This is on Coinbase, by the way.
Oh yeah. You joined Coinbase?
No.
Oh.
So you can buy video games. There's not a lot, bro. Gift cards. Expedia.
Gift cards?
Yeah, there's a few restaurants apparently.
And like when they go to a restaurant, like, do they have like a Bitcoin debit card, or like what the fuck do they do?
You get a Bitcoin debit card. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense, but that's sort of like the mark of the beast, though. You know, so maybe Bitcoin's evil.
Yeah. Dude, I have no idea. I'm just curious about it. Like, I don't really know enough about it, so
I'm curious if it'll go up and if I should buy it.
It was funny because I remember Jess was really paying attention to it hard and was getting on, and I was like, I thought like I was throwing money away on Bitcoin. I just kind of wanted to see what would happen with it, like, and I figured this would give me a way I could say, oh, at this time I spent $100. You know what I mean? Easy to like watch the curvature of it. And she was getting real bummed because we lost it. Well, she's like, we're trying to catch a falling knife. I was like, well, don't spend any more money. I wasn't trying to catch a falling knife.
Yeah. She's up on all the Wall Street bets lingo.
Yeah, dude, for real. Fucking, I don't keep up with any of that shit. Let's see what else we got in here, buddy.
Okay.
Anything? Oh, have you heard about this Italian artist that has sold an invisible sculpture?
No, he's like a really good
You're
salesman.
working way too hard, Teddy. I don't know. Okay, everybody, go check out Ted's Instagram at Utog Soup, UTOGG, right?
Yeah.
Thanks,
man.
You've got your sculptures on there, right? I don't know because I don't have Instagram. But so go check those out because Ted's an idiot. He's working way too hard. Here's Italian artist. This is from Euro Weekly. An Italian artist named Salvatore Garou, a 67-year-old artist, has achieved a remarkable feat and has sold an invisible sculpture for the sum of 15,000 euros.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 10,000 pounds. I don't know how much that is in real money.
I think it's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. If the first time somebody does it, it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, haha, that's pretty funny. But then it becomes super douchey, like really quick when everybody starts imitating it, you know?
If you saw a picture of this guy,
yeah,
you don't have the docs open, do you?
I'll have the douche chills if I see him.
Dude, this guy, yeah, he's clearly a douche. He's giving me the douche eye in the picture.
Okay,
man, could be a good picture.
Well, who was that guy that did all that avant-garde like art? Was it like John Cage or something? What was his name?
Which one? That's a lot of guys.
Is it like John Cage or something? He's the one that like did like all this performance art where they have some naked chick like banging on a piano and it's like all.
Probably that sounds like John Cage. Yeah, he was like a musician.
And he did like silence or something, like a moment.
Yes, he did. He did like a 2-minute silence or something, and that was like a track, and it's like a specific length. And I think that is such bullshit. Fuck that.
I think it's such bullshit, but you got to give him some credit for coming up with it.
Cage?
When people try to do it again,
man.
it's like worse.
Actually, I'm thinking that might have been. God damn it!
Might have been Nicolas Cage.
Hold on. Avant-garde silent song. I think that's actually what's his face, who I like, but that thing pisses me off. It is Cage. Yeah, you were right. You called.
I was totally right.
It's 4:33.
Yeah.
4 minutes 33 seconds, or just 4:33.
Yeah.
It's a 3-movement composition. Go fuck it. No, it's not. No, it isn't.
Like a bowel movement.
Yeah, John Cage. Who the fuck am I thinking of that I was thinking was him? Hold on.
McLuhan or something?
It's another avant-garde guy.
Sartre or whatever.
Son of a bitch. I'm totally blanking out.
The guy that did Marilyn Monroe, the albino guy.
My armpits are just dripping.
Gross.
They're just damn it, dude, this sucks. I can't believe I don't remember this. He did a record called Dracula that was really fucking good. Son of a bitch. I'm not gonna find it. This will be the episode where we just search for stuff that we can't really remember.
We have heat fatigue.
But back to this thing. Okay. Garou. I don't know how to say his name. His sculpture, christened Iosono, or I Am, is an immaterial sculpture, which in so many words means that it does not exist, or that if it did exist, it only exists in the mind of its creator.
Is it X-rated?
I hope so.
I mean, if you're going to make an avant-garde sculpture, you might as well go all out, you know?
Wait, hold on. Garou, the artist's response is that he did not sell nothing. He has sold a vacuum. As he explained it, the vacuum is nothing more than a space full of energy. And even if empty, and there's nothing left, according to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that nothing has a weight. Therefore, it has energy that is condensed and transformed into particles.
Yeah. See, all you got to do is you have to have, you don't have to have any talent. But the one talent you have to have is writing a good artist statement.
The gift of gab.
Yeah. But you know what we should do? We should ask Joe Nolan how to make a fucking NFT of it. We'll be fucking rich.
Oh shit! You know, he was supposed to be on the show like a couple of weeks ago. I forgot to message him back.
Well,
I don't think he listens to this. Sorry, Joe, if you do.
Ask him how to do an NFT of that guy's art. We could make bank.
Of which guy's art?
The guy that made the invisible sculpture.
Oh, are you allowed to do that of other people's art?
Fuck yeah!
Hell, what do you mean?
We're gonna do it.
Definitely make an NFT for the show, right? Like, it doesn't seem like any reason not to do that.
You got to make the NFT of the guy's invisible sculpture.
Well, that'll sell better, right? Yeah. How do you do that?
That's why we got to ask Joe Nolan. We got to know how to. We got to find someone who knows how to make NFTs.
You're fucking right. We got to get him on here quick because I am poor and I'm tired of my job.
Oh, really?
I'm so sick of it, Ted.
My job is not the greatest.
I've been looking at copywriting, like freelance copywriting.
Yeah.
Which is, where you're the shit text you read when you are looking at like a blog for a fucking website,
You think of doing that? Like your job's too boring, so you want to do something more boring?
Yes. Well, copy is so easy, bro. You don't, or at least for me, I don't have to think about it at all. Like it just comes out because it's like real,
like technical writing.
Yeah, I mean that too. It's just real. What's the word I'm looking for? See, because I'm a writer. I'm a writer, pasty. That's why I can't remember the word.
Cutty pasty.
Yeah, exactly. Formulaic. It's real formulaic. You just kind of, once you get the formula in your head, it's there. I think news writing is like that too. That's basically how I write news too. But you just get paid more to do this, and it's You ever get a
blog and it's like all filled with a wall of text, but it's all like nonsense?
Fuck yeah, those are the worst, dude. You
ever see that though? It's like all blah, 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 blah. Like, wouldn't it be funny if like a magazine like ran that just to see if anybody noticed? Like nobody noticed. Or like a newspaper, like a local newspaper.
People don't read shit, man. I'll tell you that much. I learned that really early on, and now the job I work for now, they force you to write these 1,000-word articles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever, it's fine. I'll write 1,000 words. I don't give a shit. It's it's not that much difference to write 1,000 words from 700, But
that's the most I can write in a day. I think is like like if I do it consistently, like when I joined NaNoWriMo, like the most I could pull off was like 4 days in a row writing 1,000 words a day.
Oh, I do usually like 1,000 words takes me about 2 hours usually.
Oh yeah,
2.5 hours. Yeah, so I usually do about at least 2,000 words in a day when I'm working.
That's pretty good. I mean, I've done more in a day, but then the next day I don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah, I've done. Dude, I once did. I guess this is getting boring. I once wrote like I think 6 articles in a day because I got like pushed up against it. It was miserable though, bro, and it took hours and hours and hours. Like, and the longer I work on something, the longer it takes to do something too. So
yeah,
start stretching out, but yeah, I was looking at copywriting, man. You can get fucking bank for that because I guess nobody wants to do it because it's so boring, and most people who are writing are artists, and I don't give a shit about that. Like I don't care.
Oh, yeah?
I need to express myself.
How do you become a freelance?
Way better ways to express myself than writing. I don't give a shit about writing. I can do it, so it's like a technical skill, and I'm like, oh, well, here's a great. So I don't know.
How do you become one? How do you become one?
That's what I'm looking at now. Looking at how to start freelancing, what to do, who to hit up for jobs.
I might do it.
The good thing about it too, dude, is like I said, like I've been like my old job, the first newspaper I was working at, we used to every week have to write like events and shit like that, which is basically this. So I could do this all day, and I'm like looking at stuff. I'm like, getting experience for this is gonna be easy for me. I could just do, something, knock it out in like a half hour.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna try it out, dude.
I'm gonna try to do it too.
I'll send you stuff ferret. Yeah, well,
With my job, I like working in the warehouse, but that's only when my other job's doesn't have any business, you know. But I like that better, so I'm thinking of transferring to that because my boss is a super like major bitch.
but she's beautiful, so
No, she's not.
for it, right? Oh, she wasn't. That's not who you're talking about earlier.
No, that's this other. I don't even really work with this other woman. I just see her. Yeah.
Well, that sucks. I take it back.
Yeah, she's
So
like
you waited.
super-
You were like, maybe she's hot though, and then she took off the mask, and you were like, "That's it, I'm quitting."
Yeah. Well, I got to work with her like all day, so that's the part that sucks. When I work with her, it's just me and her all day together, and she's like super anal and just like testy. I don't know. It's just really hard.
Ooh, anal and testes hot, bro.
Yeah.
Look, let's close out with a good story. What's this? Wolves keep deer safe from cars. Can you explain that for me? This is an old,
Really?
old. Yeah, you sent me this link. Do you remember it?
Wolves keep deer safe from cars?
Let's check it out from AP News.
I don't remember reading
Wolves
that.
scare deer and reduce auto collisions 24%.
Oh yeah, they run up into the high country more. That's what happened in Yellowstone. Like the elk were overgrazing certain areas. I mean, that's my guess. You know, like they were overgrazing certain areas because they got fat and lazy, and they just would hang out in like the valleys that are like real easy to walk around in and just eat everything. And then the wolves like scared them into the high country, and it allowed the trees to regenerate because they would just eat trees down to nubs. You know, they'd be like little saplings, and they'd keep eating it down to a nub. So like the forest would like never regenerate, you know, because there's too many elk. And then when they introduced the wolves, they made them disperse more and hang out in areas that are like hard to get to. So I think maybe the wolves are doing that to the deer.
Weird.
But you know what they're doing in Idaho? This is another story. They're trying to kill all the wolves that live in Idaho because they got introduced by Fish and Wildlife. You know how they introduced them to like Yellowstone?
Yeah.
They also introduced some into Idaho and some into Montana. And in Idaho, they keep voting to like just kill all the wolves, like open season on them. You can hunt them all year long, like no limit.
You don't like that though, right?
No, because they're a bunch of dumb rednecks. I like wolves.
Yeah.
They have. You know why they don't like the wolves? They graze cattle on public land. Like they're like every time you try to go on a hike, you got to go to like you're hiking in the desert, not like a desert, but like sort of a deserty area, you know, with not a lot of water, like the Great Basin, and you know like where there's water because you're going from point A to point B, you're trying to get water. This would be like on the Continental Divide Trail, and you get to the water, and then there's a bunch of cow shit all over the place. There's like E. coli in it. Yeah, so
you're all for murdering the cows?
I'm anti. Well, I call it welfare. Like that guy that wrote Desert Solitaire. What was his name? You know who I'm talking about? He's like this cowboy naturalist. He wasn't really a cowboy, but he was like, what was that dude's name? The Desert Solitaire dude. Like he had a whole article about welfare cowboys, like welfare ranching. Because they get it's like subsidized by the government to graze cattle on public land. Like if you like say you went to private land and you wanted to graze cattle, you wanted to pay a fee to graze your cattle on this private land. It would cost like maybe like $4 to $7 a head of cattle, but like the grazing fees for public land is only like 50 cents a head. So it's like way subsidized by the government. They're the ones that make sure the water's good, and they like, you know, prepare like fences and make sure everything's the government does all the work. And they just reap the benefits, you know.
Dude, that sounds awesome. Why aren't we doing that?
Because you got to have like a lot of money. You got to own a bunch of land. Like the more land you own, the more of a big permit you can get to graze on public land. Like if you don't own diddly squat, you probably can't even get one. Yeah. Because the idea is they graze it partly on their land, partly on public land.
We need some indigenous people to like steal their land from.
Yeah. I should download some stuff from Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
And then show up at some castle in England.
Sent me a playlist with a song about fist fucking on it. I think you need to have a discussion with him.
Who? Who sent Jessica? Wait, hold on. Come here.
Wait, what?
Come here. Hold on. What?
What happened?
Who sent you a what?
Your best friend. Your wonderful guest, Robert, sent me a playlist with a song about fist fucking on it. I can't change it because you know how bad I am trying to change tracks while I'm driving. So I just got the groove listening to it. Fist fuckers. Fist fuckers.
Gross.
P.S. That he sent me that song multiple times, being like, "I bet you haven't heard this." It's like, yeah, I have, because last year you sent it to me. I'm super shocked.
That is reprehensible.
Such badass shock value there.
That guy is such a miscreant.
Show favorite Rob M. sending people.
I follow him on Instagram now.
Oh yeah, he told me that. What did he say about your Instagram? He said, "Oh, he was totally admiring your life and being like, I want to just go on the road and live in the woods." I was like, all you gotta do is go get do some experimental drugs for
be a hobo,
week, and then go rent a place cash.
That's funny. He went way back in time, because I am like Joe, suburbs now. I got a girlfriend, apartment. Looks like adults live here.
That's what I was telling him. I was like, I think Ted's settled. I think Ted might have settled down, finally, and now that he's 50.
I think so.
To settle down.
Yeah, I think so. Because
I was waiting. I was like, he's only got a 4-month limit, I feel like, at a place.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's been longer than 4 months. He seems to be nesting. Something's going on.
I bought art. Look at this art I bought. Look at this thing I bought.
Let me see.
I bought this.
That's very artistic.
I bought that. I bought this.
Just describe that. What is that?
It's jellyfish.
A bunch of mushrooms. Mushroom jellyfish.
Yeah. I bought that.
Really cool. Dude,
I got all these fish tanks. No, I was a hobo for a good maybe 15 years though, or 10 years. I don't know.
That's what I was telling him. I was like, yeah. We'll have him on again soon here, and
we'll talk about the hobo life.
I did a whole fucking episode with him. There was that week when you had to work, and I was like, oh, I'll just do one with Rob.
Oh,
and
I didn't listen to it.
He tried to send me his half of it, and he's like, oh, it's taken 11 hours to send. I was like, there's no way that's true.
He's totally fucked it up.
So I have no idea. And then I've tried multiple times. I'm like, let's figure this out. He's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. And then he doesn't. So instead, he just sends my wife songs about fisting. So.
That guy's great. I want to have him. I want to have a podcast with him again. That'd be awesome.
It sucks because he was supposed to come visit us too, but last.
Did you know Bootsy loved him, and she's skittish with everybody. She thought he was great.
Animals love him. Bella, you don't understand. Bella, he can touch Bella under her face, on her haunches. He fucks with her. She loves him. She's so in love with him that when we moved and she hadn't seen him in a couple months and he came, she gave him the cold shoulder for days.
Oh, really?
She acted like he wasn't here. He walked in and she was like, fuck you, and walked in another room and would ignore him.
Like a jilted lover?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes. She was mad at him, dude.
Whoa.
Mad at him. Yeah, anyway. He's like Dr. Doolittle. It's very weird.
I gotta take a shower.
I feel like that he's like that with people too. It's pretty funny. But,
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't mean to cut
take
you
a
off.
shower. Tell
My
the people
balls
where they can
are
find you.
soupy.
Go tell people where they can find you and your soupy balls.
On Instagram at Utog Soup, UTOGGSOUP, and also on Twitter at Ted Heistman.
Ted the Heistman.
And next week we're gonna have a monkey story.
Oh fuck yeah!
I'll make sure. Actually, let's have all monkey stories next week. You want to do that?
Okay, yeah, let's try it out.
Because we got super dark lately. We got to get super light just to kind of even out the balance out the force.
I'm into that. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Where can everybody find you?
At CCN Podcast. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, CCN Podcast on Twitter, and yeah, I guess you can find me on Twitter too at JoshLee00.
Yep. AKA Lil Ray.
AKA Lil Ray. All right, we'll see y'all next week.